Okay, everyone, Renee Thompson Trueheart here with your real estate checkpoint. All right, so a lot of you might ask the question, why do I need a real estate agent? If I can list my own house, if I can basically represent myself when I buy a house and I just need an attorney maybe for to do the paperwork or a title company to do the paperwork, that type of thing, then what do I need a realtor for? Well, baby, the same reason you can fry your own chicken. You can file for your own divorce. You can file for your own bankruptcy. But the question is, do you want to do that? Okay. Um, you don't know how to protect yourself in many of these instances. If you just have a cut and dry situation, like with a divorce, y'all got married, y'all already had kids, y'all got divorced, no children, no nothing. Both of y'all worked, nobody relied on the other person. Boom, boom, bam, you get your divorce, right? The same with bankruptcy. If it's just a clear cut thing and all you need to do is list your bills and put it before the court and then go to the court and meet with the bankruptcy judge and they ask you a little few questions, you raise your hand, blah, 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 right? Same thing. Okay. You can do anything in this life without the professional people behind you. You can, but why trust that? Why take that chance when there are professionals who can represent for you? That's the reason you need a real estate agent. That's the reason you need a lawyer. But the reason I'm speaking on a realtor, the reason you need a realtor is because you need someone to stand in the gap who knows the ins and out of that particular transaction, of that particular business. This is not something you want to go into doing. Buying a house is not something you want to do by yourself. Buying no more than getting a divorce is anything you want to do by yourself. You rely on the people who are professionals, the people who know the business, the people who know the ins and outs of that particular thing. And with real estate, you need to be protected. Let me tell you a story. So I had a client. Okay. And the person wasn't really my client, but they was my client. Okay. We had just kind of lost contact. We had lost connection. She had come to me to sell her house. And and so we did the listing agreement and everything, okay? Because when you sell a house, you have to have, the agent. If you're going to get an agent to represent you, you need to have the listing agreement and everything. Y'all need to sign some documents and some disclosures in order for your agent to sell your house, okay? And one of those main documents is a listing agreement, which will be between you, the seller, and the agent, or well, mainly the broker. Okay. And so you got your broker. I just want to break these two things down to you. So you got your broker, who is the manager of or the owner, sometimes in most cases, of the brokerage firm. And then you got your agent. You got the broker, and then you got the agent. Real estate agents and real estate brokers. Brokers, they manage firms and they own real estate companies, that type of thing. Agents, they hang their license with brokers and they pay a certain fee, office fee, and that type of thing. I don't want to get too deep into that. We can talk about that another time. But anyway, so the reason you want to sign on with a real estate agent. Oh, I was telling you the story. I got off track that quick. So anyway, so let me tell you the story. So the lady, she was my client. She signed the listing agreement and everything with me. And so we just kind of, she just called me one day and said, "Hey, Renee, I'm not really interested in selling right now. I'm just going to back up for a minute and bingo bango. And I said, okay, that's fine. The listing agreement is up for about a year. So, cause she signed on with me for a year. So I said, so we good, if whenever you ready, just give me a call back, and we'll go on and continue to proceed. So she was like, okay, I'm sorry. She was very apologetic, that type of thing. So anyway, she reached out to me a few no first my sister who referred her to me reached out to me and said, hey Renee, you got to help, and I'm not gonna say her name, you got to help her because she done got somebody done called her. She told me this at work because she worked with my sister, and she said she told me that she done got herself hung up into something with somebody, with a person that called her and was buying her house. She said, I don't know all the details, give her a call and y'all talk it over. She said, because I don't know all the details. I said, okay, no problem. So sure enough, she called me. So she told me that these people had sent her a letter or something saying that they were going to they were ready to close on the house. I said, well, what did you do? Come to find out, she signed on with an investor or something, and the investor had her house tied up. The people getting ready to take her house, right? So I was like, oh my God. So I had to move quick. So I went and I found the listing agreement and that type of thing. I contacted the so-called buyer and I said, hey, look, she has a listing agreement with me. This transaction is basically void because she already has a listing agreement with me, and you can't close on this lady's house. She didn't even come through me to sell the house to you, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, I ended up having to save her. Had she not signed that listing agreement with me, those people could have just taken her house because she signed on something. I didn't even get into all the details with her because a lot of times investors will call you and they will tell you, look, we can leave an agent out of it. Don't even worry about using an agent. But they love to tell you that. Don't worry about using an agent, and you can save those fees. Don't even pay. You don't have to worry about paying an agent's fees. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got you. In many cases, they will do what happened to my client. They will be able to close and take your house. Why? Because you didn't use a real estate agent. Use a real estate agent. I know we are in a so-called free business world where people are learning all of this stuff from the internet, and you're learning a lot of things from the internet, and you think you know everything. And I'm telling you, the same reason you need a real estate agent is the same reason you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. The same reason you need a real estate agent is the same reason you go to a lawyer. Huh? Stop out here thinking you know everything. Can you do it by yourself? Absolutely. But you need guidance, and you don't know everything, and you need someone to look and read the fine print, or someone who have seen contracts a million times and they can tell you about a contract. That's what you need, honey, because these contracts are no joke. Once you sign on the dotted line, you are in bondage to that contract. You are obligated to that contract. You are obligated to fulfill that contract. Stop walking around here thinking you don't need an agent. You don't need nobody to fry your chicken. But if you like the way a certain chicken tastes, you're going to go there and you're going to buy it. That's the same reason you come out your pocket to buy KFC. The same reason you come out your pocket to go to a lawyer. The same reason you come out your pocket for people to do it the professional way. You go to a beautician to get your hair done. You can do your own hair, but you go to a beautician because you want your hair done professionally. That's the same reason you need a real estate agent. Okay? All right? Renee Thompson Trueheart here with your real estate checkpoint. Have an amazing day.